Hello everybody, this is ManuS and welcome to another Eternal News video. So we got 3 more spoilers last night, so it's time to check them out and discuss them. Let's take a look. Alright, first we have a new hero, Rica Desert Navigator. She's a 3 power, 1/5 for single fire, and when Rica hits the enemy player, the top card of your deck gets warped this turn. So it's sort of like exiling the top card of your deck and being able to play it for the rest of the turn in Magic. That's like the eternal equivalent of that effect, basically. So yeah, this is pretty decent for an effect. The problem is just that it's like a 1/5 with no evasion in a color combination that's not that great at evasion and good at aggression, and therefore usually cares about attack stats, while Rica only comes with 1 attack. So yeah, Explorer is a relevant unit type and all, but this is basically yeah, a worse Explorer than, say, what's the name? The 1/3 for 3 that draws you a card on attack, because it guaranteed draws you a card, and it draws it even if you don't hit the enemy player. And yeah, it's just so much better than this, and the archetype that would care about Explorers would be Praxis usually, so has access to time. So yeah, all in all, not seeing this card doing a whole lot, if you ask me. Next we have Burglarize. This is a pretty cool and interesting one. First of all, it's the first in-game, like in-play answer to relics in Shadow. Shadow had no way of dealing with resolved relics so far, and now it does. It comes with Nightfall, which I really hate. You all know how bad I think Nightfall is by now, and I think a lot of like better players agree on that. It's just, yeah, a relevant downside basically. Unless you have ways to take advantage of Nightfall, which currently there aren't very many good worthwhile ones that turn the downside into at least a minor upside. But you get to steal an enemy relic and put it into your hand, so you're basically bouncing an enemy relic to your hand. That's kind of interesting. It's a bit slow and clunky since it costs 4 and is very narrow. It only works on relics and nothing else. But at least that also includes relic weapons, so that's nice. And you effectively draw the relic that you destroy, so it basically kind of reads the same as 4 power, destroy target relic, draw a copy of that relic. Or like put a copy of that relic in your hand. So it's a 2-for-1, so that's kind of strong. It's definitely a much better 2-for-1 than, say, what's the name of the card? Subvert, the 4-cost that draws a card from the enemy hand, basically. So it basically makes them discard a card and you get a copy of that card in your hand. Since this costs the same, but it at least has a lot of board impact, like if you steal, say, a Chalice with this, or an Auric Runehammer, you trade 4 power for 4 power, and you get an extra card, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, this is an interesting and cool card, definitely a great market option, and maybe even, I don't know, main deckable as a one-off in very specific metagames. But mostly it's a great market and or sideboard option, if we ever will get official sideboard support, which by now is far from clear, and actually pretty unlikely. But yeah, definitely a nice role player. And on to the last card. Unbreakable Alliance. This is unfortunately, in my opinion, another pretty bad legendary, since for 8 power in Justice, I think also double Justice, we get Sword of the Sky King, which gives us 8 armor and 8 attack. This just gives us 4 armor more for 0 attack, which is not particularly great. It's just way too expensive for what amounts to a better gain 12 lives. Gain 12 spell, which is not very great. Like, the card needed to be significantly cheaper, like 6 or 7 at least, to be a reasonable alternative to something like Sword of the Sky King, costing the same and basically trading 8 attack. and all the upsides that come with getting any attack at all for 4 more armor, and without a relic weapon already around, basically just being the same as gain 12 health, is very underwhelming. I would predict this card to potentially get buffed down the line to maybe cost like 7 or something, since this is one of those cards again that is just like mind-boggling dialed back in my opinion. It's just so much worse than sort of the Sky King at the same cost and the same requirements that I don't see why you would ever want to play this card. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get cards like this. It's just bad design if you ask me. It's too little effect for too much power and too poor relative to an already existing card. I think if you make a card that is basically significantly worse than an already existing card by most metrics, like costing the same and having just like a different but weaker effect, it's just, yeah, should be a measurement for your card being too weak, and then you should just rethink the card design. And I think at 7 power this card would at least be different enough from sort of the Sky King to make it reasonable to exist. It would still probably not be a particularly great card. Maybe it would make it into some decks as a one-off, like some control decks or whatever. But as it stands right now, this card is not getting affected by Warcries and other weapon type buffs like Artisan the same way as sort of the Sky King would. And on top of it, yeah, lacks all the other upsides. Like in a deck that is weapon centric, a sort of the Sky King would often easily be like a 9 or 10 armor thing, even so reducing the armor difference by to like 2 or 3 instead of 4 plenty of times, and coming with like 9 to 10 attack as a replacement for those 2 or 3 armor. It's just, yeah, mind-bogglingly bad. That's all I can say, even in limited. Alright, that's it again for these spoilers. Unlike the awesome spoilers last time, this was a pretty underwhelming spoiler cycle, but there's plenty of more to come, so let's hope for more powerful and cool constructed cards with the next spoiler reveal. Anyway, that's it again for me and the latest spoilers. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below, hit the notification button to not miss out on future news and content. And yeah, that was the latest Eternal news with the new spoilers. I am Manu S, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.